Hi, welcome to the Mangala Samiti podcast, where I talk about business, life, personal development, and other ideas that matter. I am your host, Mangala Samiti, and I am many things: a chartered global management accountant, CFO, author, voiceover artist, and so much more. But I really am just one thing, and that is a creator. I create content and solutions to problems and challenges. I hope this podcast will help you on your own journey to greatness. I was having a conversation with an Uber driver, a very nice guy, on my way to pick up my car from the dealer as it was being serviced and brakes were being changed. So it's been really cold, but that day the sun was out and it was warmer than the other days. So we were chatting about the weather and how it was warmer than usual, and he had this smile on his face. Clearly, he's a guy who really enjoys the warm weather. Personally, I've learned to stop complaining and just enjoy it all. Enjoy the moment, and whether it's hot or cold or raining, it's just nature and it's beautiful. So I expressed this same sentiment to him, and how I was particularly enjoying this cold weather and how great the sun feels when it's been so cold. And he was honest, and I liked his honesty, and he said he really doesn't like the cold because it hampers the Uber business. Naturally, I was very intrigued by this, as I hadn't given it a thought. So, me in my usual stance, I wanted to know more. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. This week, I want to chat success and failure as potentially two sides of the same coin, and you, my friend, decide which side to stay on. So, the Uber driver and the weather. The thing about situations and why good or bad really may not exist, but life just does, in whatever form that it so chooses, is there's always an advantage and disadvantage to any situation. To you, it may be bad, but to someone else, it may be good as it benefits them. So, manufacturers of warm clothes, heaters, blankets, hot water bottles, and the like always look forward to the cold because people will spend their money and buy more of these things to keep warm. It's good for them because demand of their products go up during this time and it helps them make more money. The Uber driver, however, doesn't like the cold because it slows down his business, and the reason he cited was because people stop moving as much as they would rather be in their homes, keeping warm. So they don't go out as much to restaurants or out with friends on a Friday for drinks and entertainment, to have fun, to the nightclub or wherever, or just generally move around. They rather cozy up in their warm beds, and that drives down his business and income because the need for travel has reduced. Then, when the weather changes and becomes hot once again, manufacturers of warm clothes, heaters, blankets, hot water bottles, and so on, then see a decline in their business as people no longer need their product. The Uber driver, however, then sees an increase in his income because people once again begin to move around and the demand for a transportation service goes up and brings him more money. You see, opportunity identification is a skill, and though these two are completely different industries that do not compete directly with each other, they are both affected by the weather, which is an external factor and could be a threat or an opportunity on your SWOT, your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You would get lost and buckled down in the negative of a situation because you have let your emotions take control of you, and you're down, frustrated, and feel like the whole world is against you, when there are people out there with a similar set of circumstances who see the upside and use it to their advantage. This is what I mean when I say open your mind up to other possibilities, to train it, to see what others otherwise cannot because they are unfortunately stuck in whatever negative situation that they find themselves in. An example of COVID. When COVID hit, a lot of people lost their jobs, their livelihoods, way of life, and so much more. But some people on the inverse also gained much, much more. They became wealthier as a result of COVID itself. Some people who lost their jobs also picked themselves up and diversified their income, started their own businesses because they had to survive, and so much more. Now, those people are excelling even more than before COVID. You see, I think it's just nature, and we all will be in situations where we fail and some situations where we succeed. But the ability to learn from the situations where we fall, to get up, dust ourselves, and continue to fight is what sets us apart, and that right there is the winning spirit. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Please, if you have any feedback on this or any other podcast or any ideas, please do send me an email on mangaliso.meaty@gmail.com. I always love to receive your feedback. I always enjoy reading your comments and your thoughts and your emails, your messages, because it also gives me the support and the encouragement to continue to go on, because it helps me to know that this podcast is making some sort of a difference in your life. And please, I do encourage you to also share the podcast on your social media platforms or anywhere else to help others become better and enjoy their own journey of life. So I do encourage you to share the podcast on your socials, etc., and so on. Thanks so much for all your support to date. Until next time, have a great week.